You remember this video? This video here is the exclusive interview with the Diddy prison guard tell-all. I think that was, what, January 22nd? Go back and watch it. You're going to need to if you want to wake up. So what I've done is I have changed the pitch on Mr. Phone Call, and I'll tell you what I did was I took two phones. I made a recording on one with my voice through the phone's microphone, and then I copied that to another phone side by side, making it sound like a phone call. Then I used pitch control on two different programs. First, I actually added some echo because they do have an echo on theirs, and the problem is once you add an echo, it is difficult to remove it. But they also changed the pitch. Pitch is something you can always change, and I did change the pitch. And if you look at how the words are accentuated during this conversation, if you cannot tell that that is Brett Allen Miller said Tommy Scoville, then you are a fool. It is very evident. He speaks a certain way and he says words a certain way, and you can watch many videos where it's there. Have fun.
Hey everybody, what's happening? I am Tommy and you are on the lifeboat of my old friend. I don't know if my fiance is in the house, but my old friend Casper is over there, right? Putting down the old man candy. He's got pockets full of old man candy. He really does. Not the hard stuff, but the Brock's candy that's like caramel with the soft center. Old
Man,
man.
they're so good.
I'm
They're so
probably gonna
good.
have to. I'm probably gonna have to mute you. No, you'll be all right.
Oh
It
yeah, I
is.
can
They
do.
are really tasty though. Vixen, good to see you. Listen, before we get going, because I'm not burying the lead or doing any of that. Well, I am. You'll have to live with it because this is a good one, folks. I like to brag that the lifeboat talked about the fact that the bottles of baby oil were G. I'm talking about 2.5, 3 weeks before anybody else did. Uh, I have been pretty lucky at coming across. This isn't me. I had no luck in this at all, except for my association with Casper. And you guys know Casper. How you doing, brother?
Good, good, man. I'm doing really good actually.
So without outing this person, and then I'll say hi to everybody, but I want them to know what's going on. So without us outing this person, this is a cop or a CO that you were on a yard with. Is it correct?
Yeah, yep. He was just super cool, younger guy. Well, I mean, I say younger. Most of those guys are like in their 50s,
Yeah, they've all been.
40s.
Most of them have been through the military before.
Yeah, and he's ex-military guy. And we just had a connection. He like when my tattoo machine would end up in the hot trash, he would get it out for me. He was just always super cool. He would bring me food to the shoe, from the fellas, and he just always tons of respect. Actually, one time, and I told this story on Night Yard before when I took the handcuffs and the keys from the cop and and hurt his wrist. When I was standing on the bunk with my gas mask and my
Right.
my handcuffs and my ready to kind of go to war with them. It's not a war really, but they're just going to come in and take me down. He was the first guy. Oh, never mind. I shouldn't say that. God.
No, no, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, because I did that like 3 times.
No.
Anyway, he was there. He was there.
Literally, you know what? If you have more than one assault on staff, there's probably an issue with that. I don't judge. It's part of the lifeboat thing. We don't judge. But Grandma, good to see you. But more than one's probably an issue. Michelle, good to see you. How are you? Sharon Clark, Boudica Boo. How you been, Boudica Boo? Good to see you. Deborah Dyer is here. Incarna Soul. Hey, Fragment DID. Fragment DID. 3 days clean. All right. Congratulations. My trophy's in the other room with I can't.
Here's a trophy.
There you go. There's the trophy. And it is. Pam, how are you? Michelle, good to see you. Jane Aldrich. Kevin Hawthorne, Lakeland, Florida. People, you're going to see a video of Kevin Hawthorne. I've got it loaded up and ready to put up. It's amazing. This is one of the people out there, folks. There are still good ones. There's not as many as there should be. Seems that they all do find this channel though. Chase the Heat. That is the Johnny Scoville. What's happening? Robin Bliss. How are you? My
Hey,
hitman
Johnny.
Brian reminds me of Sam. How about that? Galen, good to see you. He's helping me fix my electrical issues. It's pretty cold inside. You know what? I've been hearing a lot of people say it's really cold inside. Yes, I am an incestuous grifter, guilty as charged. Do you know that somebody made a small little short and they sent it to me? I have a policy. It goes back 2 Decembers ago. I don't watch something that's made about me that's negative. I don't. And I usually ask people not to send me the stuff. I don't feel like looking at it. Like what somebody says about me or thinks about me is none of my business. However, somebody edited something together because apparently this person said some things. One of them is that I smuggled the GHB across the Mexican border once a week. In present time, I'm doing it now, not in the past. And when the person said, you can prove this, where did you get that? Absolutely. Where's the proof of this? Reddit. The person's answer was, I did the research. This is on Reddit. So a lot of the stuff that you're hearing about me, apparently they researched and got this.
And here's the deal. GHB, dude, like, I've always gotten GHB from Seattle. I've never been able to find it anywhere else, you know, but it maybe in Denver, but it always came from Seattle to Denver. And I bet you I would almost put my life on the line that there's not even a cap full of GHB in Mexico, in all of the country. Maybe in Mexico City, they have like a group of guys, places down there called Chilangos. There's probably some Chilangos down there doing GHB, having a good time at the discotheque.
More of a rave crowd kind of a thing than it is.
Yeah. But I promise you, nowhere north of Mexico City is there a drop of GHB.
No, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Can I get a 5x5, people? Do I sound low? Apparently, some people think I might sound a little bit low.
Maybe because I'm just so high.
Yes, primary. I knew what you meant. Primary Reddit isn't a primary source. I'm going to go out on a limb, Kestrel, and say that Reddit isn't a source. Period. I mean, honestly, you do realize that
I've never been on Reddit.
I've never either, but because the reason I don't go there is because I understand the concept. Any person can go there and write anything, and you know, it's hey, you sound hot. Look at that. Huh? Stick around after the show,
hey,
Ruby. You might get lucky.
I love Reese.
I do too. I'm very, very fond of her.
Oh yeah. Just kidding.
You know what, Allison Metcalf Palumbo? I will try to figure that out for you, and if I can, I will post it because it is. Yeah, I don't want to promote. I don't want to promote the hate, but it's. You know what? This is. It's nothing new. But today, folks, forget all of that. Today,
forget about it.
Forget about it. This is a really weird opportunity that doesn't happen very often. So what happens is, and we'll back it up because we don't want Casper getting this thing too thick. Give the dude a chance. He may just out the guy. Dead Cell, good to see you. Tony Suter, what's happening? Relatable Reese is here. Debbie Blair, hey, Janine. But these guys were on a yard together at one time. And this individual was a member of the other team. Darth, good to see you. Debbie, how are you? Lumen, good to see you. That means this guy wore the uniform of the Bureau of Prisons. And I'll be honest, we've talked about this on the boat many times. There are people that you meet along the way who just get it, right? Who get it. I've said some of the speeches. I heard a cop once say, you know, your job is to fight and do chemicals and make booze and screw around with one another sexually. Like he listed all of the stuff that you cannot do in there and said, that's your job. My job is to make sure you don't. And then he listed every one of those things off. And he goes, as long as my job doesn't interfere with your job and vice versa, then everything is good. What do we have there?
That is a feline of greatness.
That's not great. That's Katy Perry.
Wow.
Hey, Katy.
Katy Perry.
She is the softest cat in North America. I don't think she likes me yet, though. She will. She will. She really has bonded with Johnny, though. It's unbelievable.
They share the color. He's got the.
Yeah, Casper says you share a color. That she looks like your beard, and she does. There's actually a whole lot of truth to that, man. That is a whole lot of truth to that. Yeah, it's a beautiful cat. I sent you the slow-mo, right? You guys will see it later. I shouldn't be spoiler alert, but on this, but I call it the Baywatch slow-mo because it's in slow motion, and the cat shakes her head like this, and her ears shake out like a model's hair. Her ears are so long that when she shakes her head, they do this number. Yeah, Katy
and when I see seen that, you're constantly telling me how you can't tech, but that's teching. You
Oh
tech.
no,
You
no,
still know.
he did that. He did that. I
I
don't.
stand corrected. I
I
stand
can't get
corrected.
out of my own way, brother. I have to have. Well, Reese helps me with a lot. I'd really be in a lot of trouble if it wasn't for Reese. And the funny thing about that is she's not. Yeah, she's not.
Hey, oh boy, just texted me. He said, "Dude, watch it." That's
Right.
not what he said. But that's what he's telling me.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was wondering if he's watching it
Yeah.
live, he had to have caught that. Maybe don't
Yep.
mention where I was. So, and what that comes back to is this: this guy now works someplace else, and as we get sent all over the place, right? As inmates, you get sent everywhere. If you get in trouble, you stab somebody, you get in a fight, you get caught making alcohol, they put you on Con Air and they send you somewhere. If you're a cop, they give you an opportunity to go places and people bid for it. You'd hear your friends who are cops say, yeah, I got a bid in to go to Colorado. If I get that bid, I'm going to Colorado. Or I got a bid in to go to Texas. And if I get that bid, I'm going. Or, especially the bigger states, those tended to be big ones, Florida, because there was always a way to move up through the ranks if you were willing to move. Right?
ADX, if
So
you could
this
go to
guy,
ADX.
yeah. And if if you're going to ADX or some of those bigger ones, it's a step up the ladder because you're working a custody level, right? That other anything that you can put as a feather in your cap. It's like any other business. I remember the guys in the SMU and I would say, why would you work here, man? I'm not trying to hack on the state, right? But the city, if you could see where Lewisburg is, there's nothing there but Lewisburg. You drive up this road forever and you get to the end of the road and there's Lewisburg. And on the way, you pass this thing that looks like it's from one of those movies where they used to test nuclear bombs and they would have those houses that look like they're about to explode with the cardboard people out front. Well, that's what the houses look like. There's no trees, there's no grass. And I said to the dude, we're all riding like this. And I was like, holy crap, how depressing. Can you imagine living there?
Yeah.
I said, how could you possibly imagine living there? And the guy goes, that's where the staff live. For real. That's all the staff from the prison because there's no town anywhere. That's where it's depressing. And one of the cops said to me, I did this just because it's so good for my career, right? To go and do that and have the close custody or whatever they call it, right? When you're, because that's heavy custody. That's where every time you leave your cell, you got to have 3 cops with you and they handcuff you a couple of times and all of that.
You know what? That's what I forgot to ask. I was going to ask him if he's on a 3-man lieutenant hold because you have a 3-man hold, but then you have a lieutenant hold. And I forgot to. So like, you know what it is, but I'm just going to explain for the viewers that, so like if he leaves the unit that he's in, he probably won't get well, it wouldn't be a hold, but I bet you a lieutenant has to be with him everywhere he goes. Do you think?
There's got to be, you should ask your guy. Yeah. There's got to be some kind of restriction on him. I can't imagine. Think of how many people. I mean, if you just pass somebody in the hall, right?
But now, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm like, my mind is racing. So if there was, the reason would be, so I would think, so he couldn't ask an officer, hey, I'll send you, $100,000 if you can bring me in a handcuff key. Not that would get him anywhere, but do you know what I mean?
No, yeah. I know exactly what you mean. The hint of impropriety when you've got an inmate with as much cash, right? He's worth $400 million or something. This guy's got a lot of money, and if he could get one cop that leads him back and forth every day at the same time, he'd start chipping away at that guy, right?
Yeah.
There was an old joke, why you bring. The time I heard it, it was Mormons, but you can put in anybody you want. But you know why you bring 2 Mormons with you when you go fishing? Because if you bring one, he'll smoke all your dope and drink all your beer. Right. But if you bring 2, they're never gonna allow the other one to get over on anybody. And they got to pretend that they're. And it's the same thing. I think you're probably right. I'd be really surprised if they didn't have him on like a 3-man. Because that way, if he's going to try to pay somebody off, he's got to pay off. That's actually really smart, and it hadn't occurred to me when you were talking about the lieutenant's hold. That's the last thing I was thinking about. My thing would be, I don't know how an MDC is. You were at SeaTac. I've never been at an MDC. I was at a county jail doing my Fed time. So when I left the unit, I always had 3 cops, and I was always cuffing my hands behind my back. If I was outside the unit, I was cuffed. You never got to go anywhere in that institution that you weren't cuffed, except
Yeah.
except in your unit. So
Mhm.
I don't know if it's like that at the MDCs or if it was like that at CTAC. But if it is, you'd have to be guarding this fool because anybody he meets in the hallway can,
No,
can
it's
just
not
run
like
down.
that. It's. I mean, they don't have moves, but if you have to go to medical, it's like one officer takes like 10 guys to medical. No one's
Right.
handcuffed. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, New Zealand. I love it when people are
Wow.
from all over the world. So what we're going to be hearing today is this is you talking to this individual, correct?
Mhm. Yep.
And we are. You said
I
you're
did it
coming
right
off.
here. I
You're coming off
held
the
my
fact that
phone
this
up.
is a dude, correct?
Huh?
You're coming off. This is a guy. We can do that much.
Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have though now, but it's no big deal. I wish I just said it was a girl, but just to throw off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, I get what you mean.
Like, I almost want to just zip my mouth shut. Like I can't. Yeah. Anyway,
Hey, you
I
know
won't.
what? How often do you get a chance to talk to somebody that's working a unit that Sean Combs is in? You know what I mean? I would imagine that I'd have been freaked the hell out. So I'm the
And
fact
he
that you
saw
got it.
me. He saw me with you on the Sean Atwood show.
Way to kick me in the nuts, dude.
Yeah, sorry, brother.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's the same
He
family.
saw me on that Surprise Witness. No, I've never been on that Surprise Witness, but
No, that's great though. He saw me on you're with that one. No, I'm kidding.
yeah.
I'm happy. I'm
No,
joking,
no,
dude. I
no.
love that.
I
I
know.
love that.
Yeah.
So when you were on with me talking about Diddy,
Yeah,
so
was it?
he found you the same way you found me.
T.D. Jakes, and
Oh, TD Jakes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he saw that live. I can't even find that episode anymore. So I don't know what happened to it. I think because I had music that
In the
probably
background?
needed to be. I can license my creator music on 5 channels. So like if I did something here, this doesn't have any
Gotcha.
music on it. Yeah, but I pay for that license to be able to have 5 licenses. So it's a whole library of music. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
I got you. You want to see how you change the subject real quick? You do this one. Hey, what's that? That Johnny
Johnny
Scoville is that Johnny Scoville is single. Sorry. So where did you get that?
Well, Law Talk with Mike, who's a YouTuber who's amazing. He's so funny. He whenever something crazy goes on in a court hearing, he always squeezes the screaming goat.
Well, everybody should have at least one screaming goat.
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
don't say that with my girl around. She's got a thing about
But
it.
it's his shtick. It's his shtick, and I'm not trying to steal it. I
Right.
just love the goat. I just love him.
No,
her.
I think that's legit. Hey, DNV, thank you for the comment earlier. I appreciate you. Got a lot of really fantastic people here on the lifeboat. So I think we've buried this lead long enough. Let's fire this thing up. Is there anything else you need to do to set the stage for this, or does that pretty much?
Are you firing it up, or am I firing it up?
I was told there would be no. I don't know how to do any of that. I mean, if you got it, do you need me to do anything? If you put it up,
Nope.
I put it up. I don't know. I don't know how to do this, but I know you do.
Yep, I will do it right now.
All right. Law Talk with Mike. With Mike, was that all right? Banana. That is.
Mike Gravlin. Yeah, Mike Gravlin. He's super
Well, I
funny
love
dude.
giving him a shout out then, if that's cool. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, and yeah, Emily D. Baker does have a screaming goat. I dig Emily D. Baker. You want to talk about she's like show prep. Honestly,
Oh,
every
really?
time yeah, she's fantastic. I don't know if you ever
Oh, she has
seen
a
the
real one, like in real life?
Emily D. Baker. Yeah, she has a channel and she's the law nerd girl. And the way she puts stuff out.
Yeah,
Is that-
I know she is.
yeah,
I know who she is. Yeah, yeah.
She is excellent. How late are you? You got here right on time. We've just been farting around waiting for you. This is the reason we waited. Now we can go. She's here.
Okay, I'm sharing. Hold on.
my crew. Paula D. Penley. Wow. You are? I wasn't told. Was anyone else told?
Sorry, did I freeze?
I don't know. You may have, but you're here now.
Okay. Okay. Okay, it's shared to you, so now you have to.
Oh, okay, and I can do that. I will just say on the Reese front, where we live in Bug Tussle, we have to drive by this farm, Casper, and I'm not kidding you. There are 200. If I'm exaggerating, I promise you, she's a fiance. She'll call me on it. There has to be a minimum of 200 goats that are this tall. I'm not kidding.
No way. Dude, my daughter would freak out. She loves little goats.
Quibs freaks out. Every time we drive by, she goes, I want one. I want one. We need to stop and get one. I want one. But see the baby goats. They're not baby goats. They're miniature goats because they never grow up, right? I've already been there long enough for if they were babies, they would have grown up. They're just miniature goats. But she doesn't want one to keep outside, right? Quibs wants to bring a goat into the house. While I think that sounds really cool and would probably be a lot of really fun YouTube content, Van Goat, nice, well played. The problem is that they will eat anything. And I mean anything. They'll eat a tin can. Richard Laffey told a story about that. It was so funny. What's that?
I was gonna say tin can. Will they eat a tin can?
They will eat a tin can. Richard Laffey told the story that he had a goat and he left it outside his garage, and when they came home, it had eaten a hole through the side of the garage door to get into the garage, like not the part that opens, but the drywall on the side, and then ate a 25-pound bag of dog food. He said when he got home, it was laying on its side with its stomach like this big, just going, man, like
because I think some dog food does expand.
Yeah.
We're fostering 2 pit bulls, and they're super sweet. They're not like real pit bulls. They're like super mellow.
Right.
And we've got this $100 bag of food like donated to us for fostering. And I guess it blows up. You're only supposed to feed them like a cup a day. And these are big dogs, or like 2 cups a day or something like that. I'm like, what? I'm like giving them like these big bowls, and they're like, no. My wife said, no. But anyway, the video's up for you to share.
All right, let me get this down then. Yeah, you can have a goatee if you'd like, Quibs, a white one. All right, here we go.
All right.
I can't believe you got this, bud. Here we go.
Brooklyn, a place that's been described as hell on earth.
He's here inside MDC where he's been since his arrest. There's no VIP section. There is no concierge, only con men, killers, and kingpins.
It's kind of dramatic. Okay. Let me lower this.
Like,
all right. Hey, brother, I just wanted to thank you again, man, for talking to me. I know you're super concerned, but I hope, our previous conversation kind of alleviated that a little bit. I know it's hectic. I don't know what you guys make. I know, but you don't want to lose your job. I think you guys are like G5 or G6. I can't remember, but I just, again.
No, I understand. And it is a bit nerve-wracking. One of the reasons being they're tightening up. I've never seen the BOP react to an inmate the way that they are reacting to Sean Combs. They're now, if I try to print off anything, your employee number gets fixed to the top. There's an imprint they put. They're putting all kinds of things in place to make sure we can't do the kind of things we've done in the past. They're very concerned about Sean Combs.
Right. Yeah, I bet. How do you ensure that high profile inmates like him receive the same treatment as the other guys? Because I know how bitchy guys can get. They're, especially in a unit like that, like what you explained. It's smaller than their normal units, so everyone's a little closer. They're all eating together.
It's a struggle, especially when the person isn't helping, because Sean Combs is very concerned with Sean Combs. And you probably remember what it's like to be in a unit where there's somebody that just thinks they're more important than the other people in the unit. The food should be different for him. He should be able to have a computer and have access to that. And the fact that he can't use more than 300 minutes of phone time, all of these things that he complains about, it affects everyone else, but none of them are doing the complaining. He's going to end up getting crushed. They've had to move several people out of that unit already, Sam, and it's I don't see anything good happening. They're having a hard time protecting this guy, and I'm not even sure how much he understands that.
Right, because they're probably seeing lots of favoritism, or what they even perceive as favoritism. It could be, I already know, it could be as like, oh, you gave him a cop out 5 times, but you told me to wait. It could be something as little as that. And
Absolutely a fact.
Yeah.
Or just the other thing that we have a lot more presence in the unit. There are always staff coming by, checking in. Because of the fact that he's in that unit, these guys have to deal with us far more often. And they're starting to get really unhappy because as we go in there, we caught someone last week with contraband in there, and they know if Sean Combs isn't in that unit, chances are that person's getting away with what would be getting with.
right, and I know when we were talking a little bit this morning, you had mentioned that they were thinking about splitting him and Luigi up, but because of resources, because I know resources suck everywhere right now, that they just had to just focus all the resources in that one unit. Yeah, go ahead.
The other thing, we are understaffed.
Yeah.
There are not anywhere close to the proper number of inmates working in here. I'm sorry, staff working in here per inmate.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ratio from
I know you're nervous. Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably 100 people understaffed. I'm not exaggerating.
Can I pause it real quick for a second? I'm sorry, guys. Just real quick. My buddy called me earlier today. I was going to say this earlier, but Trump did fire. Well, she resigned, but I think she was given the choice. The head of the BOP. Her name was Colette Peters.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, she was let go, or she resigned on the day of. But she, because of the way that she's handling things like this, other places, she shut down a big women's prison because she said that she couldn't change the culture there, so she just shut it down. I don't know what that means.
What's the G stuff you were talking about in the beginning? You said he was a G6. Is that like a pay level or something?
Pay grade, yeah. Like like the president would be like a G13.
Okay.
That's like I think the highest grade is 13. I'm not. Remember that movie with Chris Tucker? He's like G14 classified or G13 classified. Yeah, he was like, that's like the pay grade.
Okay.
It's actually GL, but when you talk about it, you just say G, but it's GL 13, GL 6. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, she did resign 2 days ago. So that's going to be interesting to see who he puts in the BLP. All right, here we go.
This has been plagued forever. Now, fortunately for us, it's forcing the Bureau of Prisons to look at how understaffed we are.
Yeah.
But the inmates, honestly, this is a dangerous facility because of the staffing.
Yeah. And that's, I was wondering about that too. I forgot to ask you earlier when I was thinking of things to ask you. Are any like the staff members kind of fanboying a little bit on the whole situation, or do they just think he's a POS? Well, I mean, which he is, but you can still fanboy over a POS,
No, there's a lot of that goes on. I don't know that it may be like trying to stare at at somebody that's locked in a cage. It's a fascination. You're never going to hear somebody go, I was a huge fan, or everybody kind of wants to get a look at him.
Yeah.
And that's also an issue because you can't just sort of walk into a unit to check someone out without having an excuse of some sort. But that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. There's always an excuse for somebody to try to get in that unit to see Sean Combs, and it's bringing way more attention to the unit.
Yeah, that's kind of sucks.
Than the inmates in there. Yeah, they're not happy about it. When he first got there, there was there was this awe kind of a thing. Like this was a billionaire in their unit.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was now
Well,
in their unit, able to walk around and get on the phone, I think everybody, you know, was looking forward to telling the story of the fact that they were in a unit.
yeah.
Unfortunately, now they have to live in a unit. It affects everything. It honestly affects everything in that unit.
Yeah, dude, I could imagine, like, and even for you guys, like, that's more, like, not that you personally are, you know, doing anything bad or bringing contraband in or anything like that, but, you know, maybe when you felt, I don't know, you know, I shouldn't even maybe even talk about that, but I know.
The team that is working on Sean Combs' unit are handpicked, and these are people that have a history of not getting in trouble.
Right.
Bureau of Prisons, not leaking information. All of us on this particular detail have been handpicked, but yeah, it's causing problems. It's also causing problems because staff in other parts of the jail feel as if they do the same amount of work, that there's somehow this rock star status for those who are guarding.
Yeah, dude. Oh, wow. Crazy. Dude, I bet.
We're the brown noses. We're the we're the people that ride leg.
Right. Dude, I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
I haven't heard that in years. Leg riders.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, sorry, I don't keep interrupting it, but riding the leg is like, so like, say if I'm always like at the cops, you know, station. They have like a little station in the unit. If I'm always there talking to them, they call it riding the leg. So basically, like a leg hugger, like, oh, officer, you know, like, you know,
it's like a brown nose, but it's a prison version of brown nose, and they call it leg riding. Right.
Yeah. And that's another thing. A lot of the COs, they not adhere to, or they adopt our language. You know what I mean?
No question.
Hands down. Like if an officer calls another officer a punk, that officer knows it's time to fight. But I mean, they'll fight each other. Yeah.
Was the word you went over the top of crushed?
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
You know, that's a word. That's another word that you hear all of the time, though. I was wondering. I was wondering if that's what it's. I
was just trying to follow the terms of service, and that's probably not one I needed to do.
Yeah, you might get it. Yeah, it could go either way. But it's just funny that the lingo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think before you go on, because I think he makes a really good point. If you got all of these people coming by the unit, right? Because it can't be a full size unit, right? Did you talk to them about that in this? I don't know if it's going to get to that, but it can't be a full size unit. These things are usually half units or quarter units or whatever. They're much smaller for PC. Yeah. But if you have cops coming in there all the time to get a look at Sean Combs and see what he looks like and to see if he's losing weight or whatever, that's going to end up bringing so much heat to the unit, because you kind of have to justify why you're there. They're probably going in and shaking the place down. They're probably doing all kinds of crap. I bet his fellow inmates are loving them.
Yeah. Yeah. They're small units. Those units. I've been into one and in an overflow one time, and I was not there for very long. It was crazy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I'll tell you, since you're probably looking for stuff that is bombshell and people haven't heard.
Yeah, I kind of am. Yeah.
The stuff that is in that notebook.
Yeah.
Is far worse than is being reported. I know that they keep talking about him having an escape plan, but what's really in that book is him talking about how he is going to manipulate each of those witnesses. Witnesses, yeah, it was a game plan for he and the people on the streets that he must be working with, for how they were going to try to reach out to all of these witnesses. And this is why I think that they're freaking out so bad about it. They need to make sure, that's a big deal. It's way worse than is being reported. I promise you that.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Did anyone get in trouble for that? For taking those pictures or anything like that?
This is a policy within MDC and probably every other facility in the country, really. This is done all of the time. We take pictures of stuff that we find so that if it's not something that's immediately threatening the security of the institution where we have to take action, then we want to see if this develops. And of course, as you probably know, he was using multiple other people's PAC numbers, and you know what that means. But all of those are recorded. Yeah, all of those are.
Sorry, I was gonna, because the writing on this Post-it note is a little smaller, but PAC stands for Program Assignment Center, and the key functions are inmate classification, security assessments, population management. That number is, each inmate gets a number, and we also use it to get onto the phone. And to buy commissary. But I didn't realize there was that much attached to that number until I Googled it, because I wanted to give as much information as I could about each thing, and so everyone could understand it more. And actually, I learned something, so it was pretty dope.
Yeah, you know what? I had no idea what PAC stood for, and we guessed it on here one day. And just for the record, if you were one of the people that weighed in, none of us were even close. None of us were even in the ballpark.
Did you guys really? Oh, that's dope.
Oh, I figured P had to have something to do with the phone, right? Because I mean, you dialed it on the phone. You also use it on the computer, though. You do use it for a lot of things. If your phone scanner doesn't work up at commissary, you would have to put in your PAC number.
Yeah.
9 digits.
Yep. And then didn't you have to do another number too? Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Your reg number and back.
And then your PAC. Yeah, that's right.
Recording, and those were in furtherance of what he was writing in that notebook. So he was talking in there about specifically how he was going to, talk to this person or that person. And the reason he was using those other PAC lines was to actually try to intimidate these witnesses. Or buy them off. It wasn't always intimidating. It was always making an effort to influence this.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that. My buddy has a channel called The Lifeboat, and he is like the master at all this, man.
Was he at? And I almost said the name of it. He was not at the same facility that we were at.
No.
Correct?
Oh,
He looks like every convict.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was. No, at least not at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. So well, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that
too much. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because I've only got about. I won't give you exactly because I don't want to. But let's just say that I'm within, say, a decade of my parole as well.
That's so funny you say that, because I remember you always saying that, like, I'm right in here with you, bro. I know, I got to do my job and you got to do you, but like, this is jail for me too. And I was like, man, but you get paid, and you get to go home at night. I remember I used to always laugh with you about that, but I get it now, atmosphere in those bars, and I totally get it, dude. It's like being in jail. Who cares?
You may or may not believe this, but I was really excited when I came across you online.
Yeah.
I saw that you were out and that you were doing it. The most of us that work as corrections officers are rooting for the inmates, especially the ones that are solid.
Yeah,
I was really happy to see you. Look fantastic.
I appreciate that.
Looks like your family. Could not be happier about that.
Yeah, man, I seriously appreciate that, man. Yeah, I really do. It's been hard. It took me a long time to get off paper. I had to come back a few times. I thought I was going back to where we were together, but they did. They sent me down to Texas, down to it's Big something. It always gets confused with Big Sandy. I can't remember.
Big Sur.
No, I wish. Big Sur. No, Big Springs. Big Springs.
Oh, Big Springs.
Yeah.
They sent me down there, but they didn't let me. SIS, didn't let me hit the yard, and I had to do a captain's review. Anyways, yeah.
Speaking of SIS, once again, MDC Brooklyn has the SIS team here is probably working harder than any SIS group in the history of prison. Take any time off.
Yeah, dude. Did they I know they used to deputize guys, kind of as so to speak. They get a couple officers to work with SIS on investigations. I'm sure they did something like that, or just made new SAS guys. I don't know. And for the
crazy as this may be, I wouldn't be able to tell you. They really have tightened this down. All I know is that there are a lot of people listening to phone calls. There's a lot of people but they have a team that is working.
Wow.
Not just him, but there are so many high-profile cases that are coming through right now, and let's just say we are all kind of anticipating that there may be a few other big names that may be showing up here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing in that, just like you. I don't mean I have any information, but I would be pretty surprised if we don't see some more famous names.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. It's I feel so blessed that I started my channel. I feel like I'm at the cusp, and I used to kick myself in the ass that I wasn't around for the Johnny Depp stuff and so I had to edit out a section that could have disclosed the officer because he named another prison he worked at with a celebrity.
Oh, no shit. Yeah. That's great.
I don't think it's frustrating when you hear people in interviews and they talk about how easy these folks with money have it and how their cash is allowing them to live a different lifestyle. The truth is that no matter how much money Sean Combs has currently, it's doing absolutely nothing for his ability to live any better than any other inmate in there.
That's crazy. I was going to ask you, did they, when he went to his hearings, and for the listener too, SAS is kind of like the FBI of the BOP. They investigate stuff. And when he went, because I'm sure he got written up for using people's PAC numbers, did he lose his commissary, do you know?
They have not done any. He has not gone in front of a disciplinary hearing.
Damn.
Nope.
Oh my God.
I think.
So that's crazy, right?
Yeah, you know what? All right, I'll take one. So I have gone on record on multiple occasions saying that there was no way they were going to let him walk on that. I got to be honest, I don't understand why they would. That doesn't make any sense to me, man.
I guess they need to let him use his phone.
Yeah, he explains it. It's a little something different, but I think probably that too, so they can.
You know what he said earlier?
Because he's pretrial. He's pretrial too.
They also said earlier he used the term in furtherance. Furtherance, man, that's a legal term, bro. That is a legal term. I wonder who he's been talking to.
Yeah,
I like it.
He's watching too much Law 2, probably.
I hope it's a slip and there's something coming. That's what I hope.
Yeah, here. I'm just going to rewind just a little bit.
All right.
They have not done any. He has not gone in front of a disciplinary hearing. Nope.
Oh my God.
I think the reason is this is going to make sense to you when I say it, but they don't want to close the investigation. So if they actually, hem him up on those phone calls and do all that,
sure.
have to get all of them and hand them over to him.
Sure.
And as of now, it's just an open investigation. I don't think they want his attorneys catching all of the stuff that they've got on those tapes just yet.
Right, okay. Yeah, that totally does make sense.
Yeah, once he gets charged and goes in front of a disciplinary hearing,
and I can
get it on record.
Yeah, I could just hear him too complaining that he couldn't buy store and everyone else was having soups and, because, I know they're just soups, but when you're in there, man, you know how we are.
I'll tell you something else. He obviously died.
Oh, no shit.
What did he say?
He said he died there because
He is just
recently started to actually try to do some working out and some things in the cell, but he's getting gray really fast.
Excellent. That's perfect. I can't wait to see that cartoon sketches. Yeah, because they'll exaggerate it.
Absolutely.
That's funny.
Absolutely. I wish I was on the transport. You hear a lot of guys talking about that to be able to transport them up to
Oh yeah.
that would be a good time.
Yeah,
But it's gonna be a circus.
Yeah, dude. I bet. I was at Florence when El Chapo got there. But I wasn't at the of course the ADX, but I was at the Medium, and man, those guys were. I mean, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. I mean, I know.
I had 2 spots I was supposed to
Helicopter flew in. It was nuts.
prior to meeting you, but I went to the other spot that we're not talking about.
Yep.
That was on my list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It was cool. It was cool. It was a little over political for me, but it was a medium, and they were trying to run it like a pen, and you just the wardens aren't going to let that happen. They can try, but they did start splitting up the yard though too, kind of like they're doing at all the USPs. North and South yard, or they sectioned it out into 2s or 4s. It was getting kind of like that. I don't know, but it must be a mess, man. I can't really think of too much else. I don't want to keep you too much longer, dude, again, thank you so much, man. This is crazy.
Well, I hope to be able to give you more info as it happens, because I'm telling you right now, I was talking to my wife, and I was, bringing stuff up, and she said you should reach out to that guy that you used to guard. And I started laughing. I said, I could always wait until he gets his ass kicked, because I'm telling you right now, this guy's gonna get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Time. When you walk in, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, this unit is not right. When you walk in, you know that there's tension in that unit, and it's unhealthy. Someone's gonna end up probably taking a swing at this guy. I think he's got some punches into his face. It just kind of looked that way.
Yeah. Well, by you saying what your wife said, by calling you a guard, I guess you didn't marry that one chick that you were. I know you were seeing. What was her name?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
When we go off,
Okay. Yeah.
You will not believe she got fired.
Okay.
I already got bitch. I can already tell. That's cool, man. That's funny. All right, man. Well, do you have anything else? Do you want to share, or?
Just that, honest to God, I couldn't be happier of all of the people that came through. You get a couple of inmates, a couple of convicts that you remember. And
yeah.
Coming across and seeing you on a channel with that guy talking I just said, oh my God, that, couldn't be happier that you're out. And I knew you'd be tattooing. You were always damn good at that.
Thanks, brother. Yeah.
And
I tattooed a few of you guys too. Yep.
Yeah, not making wine, which is a shocker. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't drink. I drink so much in there. I feel like I lost my privilege to drink out here.
I heard you say that. Honestly, it probably sounds, I don't want to be disrespectful in saying this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm proud of you, man. I really am. I think that's awesome.
Cool, man. I appreciate
you. You take that in the spirit I meant to.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you, brother.